Finds the trailer Kramer. Kramer back to White. Shot and the save made by Brandi. Pass up ahead. Terry's behind the defense. He shoots it. Big save by Steve Brandi. Guy's a 30-goal scorer in the American League, and Brandi just shut him down. Sigmund into his offensive zone. Cuts left. Looks. Shoots. Brandi the glove save, and this one pops over top of the net.
Eisenhower in. Forehand all way. Shot, glove, save by Brandi. Making it look easy down there. A little bit of slow pace there as he shoots, and that's going to be held off.
Bruce moves through his offensive zone. Sends it in front. And Brandi makes the glove save.
Every episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion. No Offsides is happy to support US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller. Check out all these awesome tournaments, including November 8th through the 10th at Skate Safe America, Old Bethpage, New York, and the Ring of Fire in Kapolei, Hawaii, February 14th through 17th, 2025. And be sure to check out usrollercup.com and follow US Roller Cup at US Roller Cup on Instagram. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
No offside.
Two, one, go.
Welcome to No Offsides Podcast, sponsored by Champion Hockey. I'm Dan Dean here with my partner, Justin Wood.
What's up?
Our guest today plays for Carshield in the North American Pro Circuit and for the Suffolk Sting in the Pi-Ha Pro Division. We'd like to welcome Steve Brandi, a.k.a. Stavi. How's it going, man?
Thanks for having me, guys. Happy to be on.
Hell yeah, excited to have you.
You know, we are excited to have you because you touch so many different areas of roller hockey that when I think it was you were talking to Justin and Justin's like, hey, I got Brandi. And I was like, oh, sweet. I usually end up interacting with him on Monopoly Go.
I can't get enough of it sometimes, you know?
Yeah. But, yeah, you know, we got, you know, you play for Carshield in the summer. You play for Pi-Ha with the Suffolk Sting. I mean, you play, is it Long Island?
Yeah, I play out of Long Island. I'm in Connecticut, so
Okay.
a little bit of a drive, but we don't really have any teams or rinks out here except for one, and it's a small one. So I try and go to Long Island as much as I can.
What's the rink like in Connecticut?
It's a small shoebox, but it's really good for deck hockey and stuff. But for roller, it's tough, especially with the goalies and the angles.
We talking shoebox like smaller than
Marple.
Okay.
But not much, but a little bit.
But I can't remember because it's been a while since I've been to Marple. What's the comparison to the guy who are now old Tab Ramos?
It's smaller than Tab Ramos.
Oh,
but
damn.
Just a little,
Wow.
Not too much, but definitely smaller.
Okay.
Tab Ramos is like it's American something now. They just changed the name for like
Great American Hockey, the guy.
For me, it'll always be Tab Ramos. I still say it to this day.
Yeah, well, you know the evolution of it as I know it as Good Sports originally. Yeah. So, it's tough to. I mean, God, as Great American Hockey just doesn't go.
No, doesn't flow.
No. I don't know. Do you want to come out with your news first, or do you want to wait?
Yeah, I'll come out with it now. I'm just signing in legally with Valence. I'm going out there in a week or two, and I'm very excited to get my boots on the ground there.
All right.
Hell yeah.
Right. So how did that? So I mean, walk us through like it. How does that happened? Is there like contract negotiations? Does someone reach out to you? Did you have to reach out to someone?
So for goalies, it's a lot harder because there's only 2 spots, and then with the imports rules as well, it's rough. But I got lucky enough where this team just won N1, and they're moving up to League Elite, and they lost a goalie. And I was in contact with one of the coaches. Actually, Matty O'Shaughnessy was in contact with them more, so I went through him, and we just like negotiated everything, and it worked out where I can go out there and play for them, and I'm very, very excited for it.
Okay. When's that start?
I think the first game it's not this weekend. I want to say it's next weekend. I won't be there. They're playing Rattel. And then the second game is on the 12th against Villeneuve, where I actually ended up there 2 years ago for playoffs because they had a goalie issue too.
Okay. Well, it seems like you're just the go-to guy.
Call me and I'm there, I tell it for anything. It could be hockey, it could be working, it could be hanging out. You give me a call, I'll be there.
So go ahead, Justin.
Oh, yeah. No, so you've been over there already and played a little bit.
So I only got I got in a game where they were getting beat up because I just went for playoffs, and their starting goalie got hurt, and their backup was really good, but they wanted to go on that run, and they wanted to have 2 goalies, God forbid anything happened. And my buddy was on the team, and he gave me a call, and he said, would you want to come out for playoffs? And I was like, no brainer, because I always wanted to play out there. You see it online, you see all the clips, and you're like, damn, I wish I can get out there. And when the opportunity came, I said, of course.
You're gonna
I've heard the crowds are great.
Oh yeah, Rattel is loud, Grenoble is loud. Watching online, you hear the vuvuzuelas, and my mom would call me, and she's like, I had to put it on mute. I couldn't do the horns.
Well, it seems like you're going to be facing more than, I don't know, what has it been? I don't know, like 20, I don't know, let's say 10 shots a game.
Yeah. With Suffolk, it's and Carshield, we got 2 defensive teams, I have some of the best defensemen that play the game. For Carshield, we got Corey Hodge, PJ Kavaya, Nick Okada, Schwartzy, everybody, I play with, they battle, And then on Suffolk, you got PJ DiMartino, like Anthony Kozlow, guys who will give their bodies to block a shot for you, nothing better for that in roller.
Yeah. Yeah, you play with some studs on in front of you, for sure. You have
fortunate.
Yeah, you have no shortage of that. That's for sure. I mean, so like, we're talking about all these guys, right? I mean, when you're playing during the summer or during Pi-Ha with them, I mean, what's the locker room atmosphere with some of these guys?
Honestly, I'm a big locker room guy. I like to keep everybody loose and happy. I spit some jokes out, and everywhere I go in roller, it feels like the locker room's always the same. Everybody's happy, juiced up to be playing together. We're getting older now, so you get to see all your friends you've been playing with. I've been playing with some of these guys for 10, 15 years, and it's good to see them every weekend playing roller hockey, not just ice.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and we're talking about these teams, right? And you got alongside you on some of these teams, you got Keith Johnson, you got Troy Redmond, right? I mean, you're looking at, with you in there being at least 2 solid duos. I don't know, was it Chris DeCandia?
Oh, is he new for the Sting?
He's on the roster last year for the Sting.
I think he subbed because I missed the first weekend last year, but I also know him. He's a Long Island guy.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know him as much, but I mean, when you talk Troy Redmond, you talk Keith Johnson, you're talking probably, some of probably within the top 5 of just goalies in North America at the moment for roller hockey. So, you got what is the interactions between you and your goalie partners, whether it's during a game, after the game, before?
So Reds and Keith during the game, it's like a lot the same. Like I treat them the same. They're very quiet. Like, it's not loose at this point. We're focused. We're ready to go. We're trying to win the game. I'll come over there. Hey, keep doing what you're doing. Stay hot, all that. But during the game, not much. He'll come to the bench and say, "Hey, I'm seeing this. We need to work on this." Reds is very vocal about it, and so is Keith. They see the game so well because both have played for so long.
Mm-hmm.
And Keith being like a roller goalie, like I've watched him play since I was younger. Like we played Piha and AIHL against each other, and I learned a lot from him, just like on and off the rink, just talking to him, like backing him up, seeing what I can do better, what I should work on, and he always helps me out. Reds, same thing. Like I've only played with Reds for 2 years now, and honestly, probably after like the first weekend together, like the bromance began. Like that's my guy. I have his back, he's got my back. We talk all year round. He's in California. I'm on the opposite side of the country in California, or Connecticut, and I've watched him since day one. That's Troy Redmond, one of the best, probably the best American goalie to play roller hockey. And getting to play with him, like it's just awesome. You're front row, you get to see it all, how he mentally prepares for games. Because he was also, he was pro ice. He played in Alaska for a while. He was around the coast. And he brings that fundamental style of ice to roller, and it's just magic.
Yeah.
Very cool. Do you guys ever get a little competitive off, like when you're not in the game time, you're like maybe like making bets on who's going to make the most saves, stuff like that?
Never that. Usually at the casino, we'll go play some slots together, see who can get the best on the spins. We do like to golf too. We get a little competitive golf game usually at tours before the tourney starts. Maybe a couple rounds if we can, but it's just always being loose with the boys and just having a good time. And he knows how to do that. I definitely know how to do that, and we bring it to the whole team. We always try and make something happen.
Yeah, you were talking about people being vocal. Do you feel like you're pretty vocal while you're on the rink?
So with playing up with these guys, like since I got to Suffolk Sting and Car Shield, like I don't have to be as vocal as I was when I played with my Connecticut friends. I was trying to quarterback everything. Oh, sorry. Quarterback. I don't know who that was. Trying to quarterback stuff, like playing with ice guys that don't really play roller. I had to be more vocal, tell them where to be. 2-on-1 situations with Haji's the perfect example. Before I can even say what I want Haji to do, he is already on his way doing it, or it's done. So it's really good to have Haji back there. He makes my life so easy.
It's usually what we want to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he'll take a puck. He is not afraid to block a shot.
Yeah.
As you guys saw at tours with Turnbull.
Yeah. It is very nice, since I do spend some time between the pipes myself. It's very nice when you have a defensive team that is making your life just that much easier.
It brings a whole new game. It makes my job the easiest it can be. I just have to, make the first one. That's it. After that, it all comes together, especially with them clearing pucks, blocking shots.
Now, do these guys, I mean, you've had to been in games with some blowouts, right? Where like not you getting blown, but you're like your team, whether it's Car Shield or the Sting, and and you're blowing a team out and you let in a goal. Do these guys like give you shit for it?
They'll break my balls a little bit, especially if it's a softie. Ross is never afraid to say something. Ern will say something too. That's about it. No, nobody else, but They know to keep me on my toes. Hey, stop! You're getting a little lazy.
So, what's your overall thoughts on Piha?
I honestly played Piha when I was in high school for the Connecticut Blaze, and like I thought it was the coolest thing, the biggest thing for me. I was like 15, and they were like, "You can't even play on the pro team. You have to be 18." I was like, I'll play minors. And I had so much fun just traveling, playing roller hockey all across like the Northeast, like not far drives. But I was going to high school games, ice games, to roller hockey games up in Glastonbury. Piha now, honestly, it's evolved in the past couple of years, especially with the AIHL combining. Because I played in both, I played in both. And I always liked Piha more. I like how it was ran. I liked everything about Piha more. I felt like AIHL was a little, it was misconstrued. But I like where we're going with Piha too. We're playing the championship, the finals for pro with 7 games. Like, I think that's awesome. Like, we needed that. I would love to bring something like that in the summer, but it's kind of hard. Going to Colorado too. Like, Colorado, great spot, good roller community. You got roller dads out there. The rink's beautiful, great rink. All you could ask for. So,
yeah, we Justin and I, when we were watching the finals and just all the games in general, we were like, that rink looks like phenomenal.
It's so perfect for roller, especially like the camera views. Like, sometimes at State Wars, you see the netting is all in it. That rink, they had it down perfect. The Yoders really know how to run like the rink out there and the production side of it.
Well, and I think
huge scoreboards, everything.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They're like a Videotron.
Yeah, Videotron. You got TVs that are just animated, and you got like 3 big TVs on each end. It's like, holy crap.
They also have halftime shows. They have some halftime like stuff. Like, they had some singers out there one night. They had like Chuck a Puck one night, and I got actually in trouble for throwing. I was trying to help the kids who were throwing the pucks too far. I was throwing them in. Couldn't help it,
These like actual pucks, or the foam ones?
The foam ones, but they were coming to the bench, and I was like, I'm trying to get it on the mat for them.
That should be legal.
Oh, yeah, they didn't like that. They were like, stop. I was like, just trying to help them.
I don't know. I've been told that there's a locker room in that rink that has beer fridge in it.
We didn't. The Sting team did not have that one. I'll tell you that.
Oh, then the team you played must have had it then.
Yeah, they're the Colorado team too. So I would imagine they get the beer room. We didn't. They had a nice little bar upstairs though.
Yeah,
it was great. I would like some more pro teams though, but especially in the Northeast. But it's hard. It's really hard. You got so many guys playing ice now that are high level ice players, so they can't play during the winter, and we get it, But I think it's coming. I think it's coming in the next couple of years as well.
Yeah, I think the trajectory is up right now. I mean, it's going to continue to get up there, especially as more and more high-profile players continue to play roller, whether it's in the off season or just making content, whatever they do, or even just joining the summer tournaments. And I think the more that we see join the summer tournaments, that will more and more people jump on board. I would like to see, we're seeing all these high profile like ice players. I mean, I'd like to see some of those goalies hop on some rollerblades and play as well.
I know we haven't seen any in a while. Cam Johnson, I think, was the last other than Reds who's still kicking.
Yeah,
and he played with us. Like, also another great goalie again to play with, Cam Johnson. Like, watch him play college. I want to say he's a 92, so he's my age. And it's just he's a beauty as well. Like, he's a big beauty.
So we're on the topic of Piha, right? I mean, you guys seem to have done rather well in the regular season. It's looking like you maybe had one overtime loss as a team. But then, it comes down to your regional finals and you're going to game 3, right? I mean, you had those 3 games were solid games for regionals. Yeah. And I think you guys were playing the Few, right?
The Few, yep. I think they won the first one. Yeah. They won the first game 1. I think we won 3-1 or 2-1 in the game 2, and then I forget
the overtime.
And it was. I'm surprised Jay didn't pull the goalie. He likes to do that, and he'll pull the goalie in overtime. I don't think he did it in the final, but he did it all year, and I would look at him like, "You're crazy, man."
Yeah, I mean, it's just those 2 teams and your team and the Few are they're some pretty loaded teams. I mean, I can't say that all the teams in the pro division are pretty well off with roster spots. But you're talking on the Few, O'Shaughnessy, Schultz, Marker, right? And then let's see who they got in that. They got
They had
Machinsky.
Chinny and
Yeah.
Jastrow. Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's not like it's a cakewalk, right? So, whereas like if you look at regular season standings, I'm pretty sure they were maybe the 3 or 4 seed.
Yeah, I think we were 2, honestly, too, because I think Inferno might have been 1. No, it was either us 1 or Inferno 1, and then the few were next.
You were 1 because you only had 1 overtime loss.
Yeah.
And then it was Inferno, then the few.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I mean, you have, you're looking, if anyone just looks at it as face value, right, you're like, oh, they should just steamroll this final if they're going up against the 3 seed, right? But that wasn't the case at all. I mean, those were, now, if the game wasn't recorded on a phone,
it would have been nice.
Yeah. It would have been a much better watch, but overall, I mean, those games were just physical,
battle.
Yeah, just a grind for both teams.
So it's funny because we're all like, we all play all year round. We see each other all year round, and it's all guys that have known each other. So it's always like that battle, like we're friends off the rink, but especially playoffs. When we're going out there, everybody's going to play to win.
Yeah.
And with like guys like PJ, Kaz, you got KJ Teffenworth too. Like they're not going out there just to have fun. They want to win it all, and Jay wants to win it all too.
Yeah.
So I love battling the few. It's fun because we got to play against O'Shaughnessy, who's on my team in the summer. We're going back and forth at it. Marker, who has one of the hardest shots I ever had to face, other than Hawkins, and AK.
Yeah.
But and he can put it where he wants. That kid, he comes down full steam, rips.
Yeah, I got the honor of playing against Marker at USRC Pro, and he not only can he shoot and fly and rip the puck, but he'll also throw in that little kick to your defenseman's stick.
Oh, all day, every time down the rink almost.
So, but yeah, it's you got to be seeing some solid shots from this division just in general in Paiha. Right?
Oh yeah.
I mean, what's going through your mind when some of these guys are just, have a good shooting opportunity?
Well, I base it mostly on like past events with guys. So like when I see Marker on the side, I know he's looking for a 1T all day, and he usually does. He takes it. So he's got like guys like Merrigan or O'Shaughnessy hitting with that pass. Like I'm cheating a little bit as long as I see it, but it's trying to read the shot, read the play before it happens. That's the biggest thing. You need to know where the puck's going to be before it happens. And with guys like that, like I was honestly at PIA this year getting sniped by the younger kids who were just ripping the puck, and like guys I don't know. So I'm like, I have no idea who the kid is. And then he comes, rips 2 on me, like bar down. I'm like, they're like,
you didn't have your research done on them.
Yeah. There's no PIA scouting report, unfortunately. So
yeah,
I got snipped. I feel like there was a couple kids on Furno, and then I want to say Pittsburgh had a team, or I forget. JJ Fecto was playing with them, but they had a team. I don't think they made it out of round 1.
JJ's a guy who can really control.
Oh
the
yeah, oh yeah.
You're talking about Pittsburgh Fusion, yeah.
Fusion. I thought it was something like that. But then guys like Osho too, who like he's got moves. He's a nice guy. He can shoot the puck. So it's all situational. You have to read the play, like I said, before it happens.
So you said you've been doing Paiha since 15?
I was like, 15, 16. Whenever the age was like you can play, my coach was like, I'm putting you on the minor team right now. Because I was playing like youth, whatever, juniors, AAA, and state wars and stuff. And the goalie selection, there's not a lot of roller hockey out here. So if you got a young kid and you develop them, it's great. And my coach Bill DiNapoli really did that a lot. He was just on the PIA podcast, the Ratcast recently. Yeah. I had to check him out. But he's the one who got me into roller hockey. I thank him for everything, you know.
What do you think about some of the expansion that's happened with Paha?
I'm happy about the Michigan thing because, like, I get all the Car Shield guys. You know, I get to go see them in Michigan. I wish they were closer, you know, obviously, but I like the expansion. You know, it means the game's growing more and more.
Yeah, and so Southeast technically expanded again in a new version, which is nice. And I think let me see here.
There's like a new Rocky Mountain division.
Yeah, there's a second division. There's also a junior division now too out in the Rocky Mountains.
I feel like they have a lot of roller there, so it's perfect. I don't know if they have like a high school league out there like they do in Jersey and Long Island, but that could be a big thing too if they don't have it.
What's the high school like?
I've never played it, so like all my friends did. Like my buddy Kyle, he grew up in like near Voorhees and would play there, and he was like, "I played high school roller. I barely played ice hockey." And I was like, "What? Like, I wish we had that."
Yeah.
Yeah, Voorhees was the place to be.
Yeah, that's what everybody says. I've been there once or twice for Flyers practice after a game.
Yeah. Yeah, we used to go there, right? Go for a weekend tournament, whether it was tours or I think it was usually tours. And then you could go next door and you could watch the Flyers practice if they were practicing. But it was also like one of the first rinks to have almost that full glass boards as well.
Oh, I never play at those. I never get to see that. Like, I feel like Colorado had it, but I could be totally wrong. I don't even remember. I was hurting that trip. I'm not good with the altitude, I found out. So
I heard, man.
It's
I heard there's a lot of people like because the pandas and everything like that from Jersey, and those guys went out there and they were like, yeah, man, like the first day we couldn't breathe.
Everybody was struggling. Like they had been out there before, but that was my first time, and I played game 2. And all day I was fine. I got in the day early. I was like, I'll adjust. And after the game, I was laying on the ground outside in the lobby. Like, I was like, somebody bring me to the hotel, please. I didn't go out to eat, like nothing. I just went and laid down, took a hot shower.
So, like, I mean, have some of the guys figured out some way of like kicking it and like not being as affected by it? Like, is there anything that some of those guys, because I mean, your roster for the Sting usually ends up going to the finals in Colorado because it was 2 years in a row now, I think.
Yeah.
Right? So, I mean, is there something that guys do that they're like, yeah, I'm going to do this so that it doesn't affect me as much?
Nobody was doing anything different, like everybody, like I said, most of those guys last year were used to it. They had all played there. Keith was taking ice baths. That's his thing. I was taking hot showers and just sleeping as much as I could.
Mm-hmm.
Ice baths? Couldn't he just lay outside in the snow?
Oh, it was like kind of hot. Like you would thought it was going to be cold. It snowed the first day, and then it was like hot the rest of the time.
Huh.
We were at like some brewery in the mountain after, and I was like, "Is it summer?"
Yeah, Colorado Springs doesn't get that cold, really.
Yeah, literally the day I got in, it snowed, and they're like, "Oh, it's supposed to be 80 degrees here the rest of the week," and I was like, "Great."
It's wild.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. Colorado probably has an advantage going into finals for at least a day or
at least a day.
Yeah.
Oh, and if they ever had finals, on the East Coast somewhere at like sea level, they'd have lakes for days.
I'm hearing finals is supposed to be out here next year.
Oh, really?
I think for like, I don't know. That's what I was listening to something Flynn said, but
I think it's Colorado. It's Colorado again this season, and so they might be trying to look at somewhere else for
next because like everybody's like it is rough to get out there sometimes. Like it's hard to get 10 guys. Hey, let's all go. It's never
it's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean you get especially. You can go with 8 guys, or you can go like Tardino's team did this year and go with 4 or 5.
I saw, yeah, they were dying.
Yeah.
Everybody bailed like the week of too, but like that happened to us the year before. Like I left. I didn't go to Colorado that year. We lost. I think we had 7, and then Sush played maybe 8, or she was 7. So we had 8 7, and they couldn't hold off after the fourth game.
Which is unfortunate, right? It's like you play the entire season, and like guys aren't able to make it, and that's what you're really playing for, is to like go on this nice trip, especially at the Colorado Springs, and be like, get to go experience, whether you want to go snowboarding or skiing or do some mountain stuff that you don't typically do because you're on the East Coast.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. I love where roller hockey has brought me, and Colorado was a new place, and we had a blast out there.
Did you? I know Tardino likes to party. Is that something that you join in on, or?
I like to party. I stay away from him. No, we always break each other's balls about it. But I'll usually run into him at a Ranger game out here too, which is always great. So we have common ground, so we don't hate each other all day. But
there you go.
Also another guy I played against forever. He can rip the puck as well.
Oh yeah.
Well, I'm a Michigan guy myself, so I want to hear more about your Car Shield team. What it's like playing with all those boys.
Honestly, since they brought me in, I think, what was it? Big Boy Arena. I didn't even know Haji then. I just knew Perry. And we went and played Georgia's tournament, Legends, unreal tournament. Always a blast. That's like my kickoff summer. Like, all right, summer rollers here. We're going to play Legends. And I think it was me, Robbie Belair-Geron, Adam Ernie. We had Vlad Nemestikov. And we brought, was it Rosenkrantz? Yeah, Steve Rosenkrantz. We went out there, we're playing, and I actually, we had no expectations. It was like Ern's first year of roller. And we played we ended up in the finals against Spezia, and we almost won. It was pretty crazy, but I had a really good weekend, and I went up to Haji, and I was like, oh, if you guys need a backup, let me know. And he was like, yeah, we'll talk about it. And they ended up taking Ernie, and Robbie was already on their team. So he was like, you know what? You come with them. We'll make it work out.
Okay.
And I was like, yeah, deal, whatever. I want to play. So going from that, meeting Ross, Barry, all the, Schwartzy too. I can't forget about Schwartzy. Those are some of my best friends now. I talk to Haji literally every day. I talk to Schwartzy once a week, twice a week. He's got the baby now, so I can't be calling him too late. Me and Ross, I chit chat with Ross every day, Ern every day, and just keeping up with them. The Michigan guys, they live like us Connecticut guys. They just got lakes and stuff. We go to the beach.
Okay.
And they brought me in and treated me like they had known me for years, and they brought me into this big family that's now Car Shield. We were Rinkster at the time. And now it's a yearly thing. It's a family reunion all summer when we get together. And it's some of the best hockey players, Ross, drafted, ice player, Matt Barry, Michigan State, plays pro ice. Haji out in legally in Italy. They're all unreal, and I got lucky enough, I playing in the Legends tournament. I ended up playing pro roller for the summers.
How many times have you done Legends?
I think so. I did, my first one was the RHI one, and we were supposed to be the coasters, but the jerseys didn't get in time. That had to be 4 or 5 years ago, and I've only played that one. Oh, the first one I did was a winter one out action in Marple. I did winter Legends and summer that year. I've had to play 3 or 4 now. Maybe 5, including the winters. And George always puts on a good tournament. Always fun, good groups, good scheduling. Nothing ever bad happens other than me losing in the finals to Halverson or somebody like that.
I know it's the draft, and I know you can choose a couple players.
So you bring 4 skaters and a goalie.
Only skaters. And a goalie.
And a goalie, and then you draft the rest.
Okay.
So, and it's awesome. Kids we don't know, Matt Berkey. I don't know if you know Matt Berkey. He played his first roller hockey tournament was that, and we picked him. And I was this guy looked great in the skate. We picked him. Now he's playing for the Buffalo Wings, and he's tearing it up. It's it's funny, man. It's just crazy. Well,
I forget who said it, Justin, but someone was during our live one said that if you're looking to crack a pro roster, go to Legends. Get noticed.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, it seems like all those Michigan guys go to a lot of them too.
Yeah, well, we all try and put in teams. Like, we split up for Car Shield. Like, this is like we split up and then we're battling each other. It could go bad, but it never does, luckily. But everybody's battling each other. So, like, Okada will put in a team. Haji will put in a team. And then, like, we'll get a couple. Like, Glover will put in a team. Drew Height.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll put in it. So, it's like all different pro teams, too, there, which is – it's great. So you're playing, you could be a college roller kid and going to Legends playing with the pro line. You got Adam Ernie, Vlad Domestikov, Spezia, like
nice.
It's sweet. It's really cool to see.
What do you think about Big Boy Arena?
Oh, last time I was there, the locker rooms were leaking.
Oh,
So that was fun.
Yeah.
Other than that, I love the bar upstairs. I love like how the rink is, other than the locker rooms, honestly. Also gets really hot in the summer, and they need to get rid of the big fans and just do something else because it doesn't help. The big fans make it worse.
They're just circulating hot air.
And you're like, they're pushing you away, like you're trying to skate, and you like can feel the wind. My guys were telling me that. I'm like, that's crazy.
That is crazy. No, that's an old rink, man.
What do the Rockers play out of there still? Like the Fed team. Yeah. I don't know how, but like it's just so outdated that I like the other roller. I've never played on the real roller rink there. I've only played on the arena floor. So I was pretty pumped that I was gonna get to play on that this summer, but ended up not having a game there again, and all were on the arena.
Oh wow.
But I like the location. Like, I like the big parking lot. It just needs to be renovated. That's it. Just a little locker room pipes fixed. That's it. That's all we're asking.
Dude, that place has been falling apart since I was like 11.
That's what all the Michigan guys say. They're like, it was like this when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, they don't. When I found out that they converted it and started doing roller in the arena, I thought that was amazing.
Oh, it's perfect. Like, honestly, State Wars would be sick. Like, that'd be a sick final game in there.
Yeah.
Just the bowl, because you got the whole bowl there.
We used to always joke because we'd be like kids and we always wanted to play in there, and it would just be sitting ice. Nothing. That's crazy. Barely ever have
they
games
got a lot more going on, and I feel like they're doing like youth hockey. Like, I don't know though. I have no idea.
I think they're trying harder.
I'm sure those Michigan boys are trying to keep roller like all year round. So.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen Justin so excited to talk about a topic before. You start bringing up
big boy.
Yeah, you start bringing up big boy, and Justin's all perked up, and he's as happy and giddy as can be.
You want to get me real excited. Next time you're up there, dude, go to this Mexican restaurant that's right by there. It's called El Charro.
I feel like we went last time. We might have, but I could totally be wrong. I was going to ask you, what's the big pizza out there? Jets?
Jets is solid. If you like square pizzas.
I'm a New Haven pizza guy, so like I'm very picky. Me and them argue a lot. I'll get the Little Caesars at the Red Wings games usually, but I haven't tried Jets yet, and they keep.
I'm with you, man. I mean, I'm from Jersey, so it's New York,
the deal.
The best pizza is New York, New Jersey. So I mean, there's nothing beats it. Deep dish is just kind of like. If I want to make a casserole, then I'll make a casserole.
I don't mind the deep dish, but it's not my go-to.
No, it's not. I mean, I don't mind it either.
The Michigan Square isn't like normal deep dish though. It's like it's more like more bready.
So really it's like Sicilian, a little Sicilian action.
Yes.
I'm a fan. I'll eat any pizza. You can tell, I'm a big guy. I like to eat.
Listen,
hell yeah.
That's the funny part. It's especially where Justin and I live now. I'm like, people are all these people are just living off of Papa John's and Caesars and Domino's. And I'm like, those are great when you're drunk.
Yeah,
those are fantastic because it doesn't matter. But like, if you're gonna sit there and tell me this is your favorite pizza, then no. No,
We go to
disappointing.
New Haven. We take pizza very seriously. We don't
You
mess
should.
around. Portnoy knows. He's been. I had
I was
O'Shaughnessy
just gonna
here
say.
last weekend too, and I made him get pizza with me.
Hell yeah.
I mean, the two things that you got to know the good restaurants for is pizza and Italian.
That's it. I could live off that.
Well, and then you want to bust down to you can look for your good Greek, your good Mexican, your good Asian. Well, you got to have the differentiation. Yeah,
I think we're three dudes who love food, so we're changing the podcast.
Especially after a roller tourney.
Yeah.
I'm stopping at Wawa normally.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
I don't know. I mean, let's just say you go to tours in Florida, right? It's hot as hell outside, right? So you're playing in an ice arena, which is usually cold, hopefully not melted. But you you go outside and you're like, oh shit, like, all right, what do I do now? You either go get food, or you go to the pool.
that's it.
Or you go take a shower and lay in the hotel because you're afraid to go outside.
With the AC cranked.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we stay at Saddlebrook at tours usually. So
Okay.
And also we were getting out of games so late sometimes. So it's like, oh, no pool, no hot tub. Go to Wawa, everybody shower, go to bed. Because everybody's dead. And it's like the first pro tourney back. Like everybody's just getting back into shape for it.
Yeah, especially Car Shield. Everyone's getting back into roller.
Yeah.
I mean, while we're talking about it, let's talk about Summer Run, man. Yeah, we're talking tours right now. I can't say that it was Car Shield's best looking round robin at tours.
Something we've never seen before, but
yeah.
We like a little adversity. We like to make it fun. We had some new guys that like Spees' his first tournament with us. I went, he was at the tours the year before, but like we had Spees, AK, we were missing Ernie, we were missing a couple guys, brought in some guys, and honestly, I think we went in there with the mentality after winning last year, like we got this. Palma's not even here. We're gonna give Black Ice and the roadies a hard time. And who was it? Blood and Feathers first game.
Yeah,
we end up going to a shootout. And we get to the locker room, we're like, okay. And then second game, we played, I think, Buffalo. They beat us in a shootout.
Yeah.
And we're like, what is going on? And then the next day, we played Ringster, and I played that game. We end up in a shootout again.
Jeez. It's a lot of shootouts.
I don't think a team's ever done 3 shootouts in a round robin and gone on to win a tournament.
Well, and and I followed that. I like watching tours, and listen, because I also like listening to Trefty on the cast.
Oh, who doesn't?
So good.
Who doesn't? Shout out Trefty.
Yeah, and so it was quite comical every game and he was like, they just don't look right. They don't look right.
I don't know what it was. We got off to a slow start, but what was our first playoff game? Boys were ready to rip, and it felt like a whole different tournament. After Haji took that one off the head too, like he was trying to come back out and play, and we were like, no.
Yeah.
I think that got the boys going. Like, hey, Haji's laying out, blocking shots off his head. Let's go finish this for him. And he played the next day and played like, we won in double. It felt like double overtime.
Yeah.
But Speed scoring the game winner with, I don't know if it was broken. His collarbone was not good. He could not shoot, and he finally buried one at the end. Also, Reds played the game of his life in both championship games we played in this year.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's scary for some of those teams though, right? Like Cross Shield doesn't have a good round robin, and then you got to face them as like a 6 seed.
Yeah.
It's like, oh shit. Usually, no one's used to playing Car Shield first round playoffs unless you're, one of the lower teams. It's like, usually you're 1, 2, 3, and it's like, you're going against shit. Who'd you guys go against first?
I can't even remember first playoff game.
I'm trying to find it.
It was early too.
All right, and so like you're come first round, you're like, oh shit, this is this is like the matchup. What we talking about? We got you're versus Envious Wings first round.
And and we just was that one Haji got hit that game. I think we were up 4-0 when it happened, and then you got to go on and the next morning play Black Ice.
Yeah,
and never an easy game. They know how to battle us. We know their game. They know our game, and it's usually it's a 2-1, 1-0 game. Like every time we've played, and I think we got them 4-0 that time. But they were missing guys, and it was a different tournament. And then to go play the Roadies again in the finals with Patty, we were just looking to get him back for the year before.
yeah. It's funny because watching the cast, and it looked like some of those lower teams that were playing were, for whatever reason, talking shit to Patty
and get him going.
Yeah. So I'm like, I was thinking to myself, I'm like, what could you say to this guy that he's gonna be like, you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna fucking, I'm going back at you.
I think Jordan Black tried to go with him. He just wanted it on the tape. That's it. But even him and AK were going at it, and I'm like on the bench. I'm like, AK, don't get him going. Shut up. but he got that's how AK gets going, and it worked out. But yeah, everybody's going after him. They wanted all the smoke with him, and he was burying pucks. He always does.
Yeah. Well, and then you guys end up winning it, right? And then you end up going into Narch and winning Narch.
We played a lot better there too.
Yes, much better, I can say.
We had Vancouver. We played them game 1. A little slow start, but we had Connor Bradley and Jack Anderson, 2 of the younger Carshield guys. They play Carshield Blast. We brought them up. We were missing a bunch. Like some guys can't make. It's hard to do all 3. It is. Yeah. It is rough, especially with kids, job, and those kids came and they stepped up. Like Jack ended up being like one of our best defensemen all summer. In a crazy good defensive core already, and then Connor ends up scoring his first goal in one of his first shifts of one of the games against Black Ice, and it was awesome to get some youth back on the team because I don't think we had a guy under 25 or 26 other than Ty.
Yeah, you guys go, you play at Vancouver, right? Then you play OC Blades, and then you get the rematch from Tours. Another close game, right? And then you play Skittles, who is never they're pesky.
Oh, they were pesky. Yeah. We always battle with them, like something like we have a hatred. Both teams hate each other, and it's like we don't even really know each other.
Well, and I feel like they're younger, right?
Yeah.
For the most part. And I think the hatred especially comes from, you have a more veteran status, older team, right? And so you're playing against these young guys that just want to fly around.
Yeah.
Right. And then you're like, how do we slow them down? Yeah. And so they're flying around the rink, and what's your team do? All right, guys, let's play the body.
Yeah.
And then there you go. That just starts all the shit right there.
Then it's a physical. Yeah, that's usually how it goes.
Yeah.
We like to be a physical team. I think we pride ourselves off being physical. We used to have Steve Oleski, and he used to bring that a lot. Like, don't back down. Always be physical. Play the body. Don't let them run through you on the boards. And I think it stuck with all those guys. Like, definitely them growing up with him and playing with him, too, throughout their lives out in Michigan. So yeah, we definitely pride ourselves off that physical game a lot, but we can run and gun. We can do whatever you want. We're a hybrid team. We can run and gun. We can hold the puck, but we like to play the game more.
Yeah. I mean, you're looking at, talking about physical guys, Okada, right? Hackett.
Oh yeah. Hackett wins us that game against Vancouver, by the way, too. And without him, we don't win that game. And Narch, and we don't win State Wars without him last year or 2 years ago.
Yeah, and I'm sure Speezy likes to play the body a little bit. Brings into his ice hockey into it.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So, and it's just like watching you look at the top 3 teams, which, whether it's, Car Shield, Black Ice, Roadrunners, right? These guys are super physical, especially on the boards. And I mean, you go into the corner with PJ, you're coming out with some marks on you.
Yeah, oh yeah.
So, I mean, from your standpoint in the net, are you saying shit to people especially if it's a blowout and it's these young kids, right? Or like, especially if some extra shit's happening going down behind the net or in the corner on your side, are there words being said or?
Being at the higher levels now, I don't talk anywhere near as much shit as I used to. I used to have a problem. Now it's rare for me like to start talking shit to somebody, but like if you, perhaps what happened? Combs hit our buddy Toby in the State Wars finals last when we were in the final. And he came to the net, and I gave him a whack. I said, "Why don't you go to somebody your own size?" And then he came back, and we started going at it. So it's usually just shit like that. I like to step up for my guys and like let them know, like I got their backs just like they got mine. But the shit talking, usually at P-Hot it starts with like it's just friends bickering.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
In summers, you'll hear a lot of it on the rink though.
Okay.
What's some of your pet peeves from the opposing team while you're in net?
The late slash on the pads or the gloves. That's my biggest one usually. I hate when teams hold the puck and we're losing, but I can't do anything about that.
Do you feel that the late slashes come from the younger players, or do you feel it's just level across?
Usually it's a level, but like in the summer, it's like guys knowing like, oh, I'm going to chop him late. And like, then I'll get in his head and I'll do it again next whistle. Or like they think it's in my, and I'll be going to the ref. I'll be like, you're not going to call that one.
Yeah. Because
I get it.
I mean, I've seen it, you can see it both ways, right? I mean, the younger guys are like, shit, I'm playing through the whistle.
Yeah.
And that's what usually starts a lot of shit.
It's definitely in certain situations too. Like if it's if whistle and the if it's loose, I get it, but it's the late ones.
Oh yeah. And when they're late too, because you're like, there's usually the glove and then the whack right after. You're like, okay, like he as he was mid swing, I covered it. But yeah, then there's the ones like you haven't covered, and they just come full raking through your glove.
Yep.
My favorite is, and by favorite, I mean the one that gets me going is a goalie makes a straight up glove save out of the air and the guy's poking at it. And you're like, what are you doing, dude?
I'll throw the windmill out after usually on those too. I'll throw a windmill. But I don't forget. I usually come out. I have my tricks in front. I'm poking the back of your kneecap until you fall down or until I get a penalty. Or I'm 2-pad stacking you into the post. Either one. It's your choice.
Okay.
But it doesn't happen too often. So, especially, I got Haji and Kavaya, everybody stepping up, and they make a barrier. I don't have to deal with it.
As a attendee, do you enjoy playing the puck?
I like to play it too much. That's what I've been told. As I've gotten older, obviously, I know not to as much, but for men's league ice, like I'm playing the puck. I tell the ref, I'm like, hey, it's a 10:30 game, no icings. I'll play everything. And for roller, I tried to I like doing the glove save and throwing it out quick and trying to get a 2-on-1 break, but not during the summer unless it's we got a lead or something. I'm not trying to make a mistake there.
Okay. Oh. Wrong button.
We'll bring him back.
Yeah.
Well, everybody, this episode is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Dan, what do you like about Champion?
Well, there he is. Their wheels are very grippy, and their sticks are great.
Bam.
Sorry.
Wrong button, huh?
No, I'm getting this kid keeps. I just texted him too. I said stop.
So you go in, right? You win Narch. So now, technically, from last year, you're 3 in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
But no one, as far as I'm aware of, I don't think anyone's done it in a full year, the same year.
No.
Right. So going into State Wars, I mean, what's the mindset with the team?
After we won, well, honestly, it started at Tours. We said it. Like, we've been saying it for a couple of years. We want to win all 3. And we won Tours 2 years in a row. We lost the 3rd year in a row. We won State Wars last year, and we're like, all right, next year we're doing it. And we were missing Ross last year. We were missing a couple guys. After Tours, we said it. Hey, it starts with this one, and we got it the first. Then after Narch, we were like, all right, we're right there, boys. And it was talked about since last summer. We want to win this 3-peat.
Mindset.
Yep. And when we lost that game against Black Ice, it was like, it just felt like, my futures parlay just lost. I lost with all my friends. Like, it was just rough. It was like harder than a normal loss because we were that close. We were in the semis of the last one, and 1-0 game too. Like, what a battle.
Yeah,
No, I'm over it now.
I'm not even fucking bad.
Yeah.
Now what's unique though about State Wars is that they had the play-in where the Car Shield Blast actually made it in, and you ended up playing them first game.
That was pretty cool. We were talking, so at Tours, me and Haji were hopping on the bench trying to help out JP and Nick, the Car Shield guys, because we wanted to, we were like, you guys, you got your kids here, your wives here. We'll go coach the D1 and the 21 or 23 and under team. We were coaching Connor, all the Bradley brothers, all these guys that play at Lindenwood, and we had met them the summer before, but we were on the bench, and it was like we had a blast. We were just done with Tours, and then we're back on the bench with them having a blast, and it was pretty cool to see them go that far in Palmer, and they ended up winning it. We're coaching their playing games on the bench, and we're like, what if they win? And Ronnie Bielstein stepped in, obviously, took care of the boys. But seeing them at Tours, me and Haji said they're going to win their bracket at Palma Pro. These kids are gross. And we're at the Palma play-in. They're playing good again. They got a great goalie there, and Chase Christopher. They got it all, defense, Jack Anderson.
Yeah.
So we knew this was coming. And when we saw the schedule, we said, we're going to end up playing them. And they wanted it. They came out strong. I think they had the first 5-10 shots. Like they were buzzing. And they're all from St. Louis. So it was cool for them to be at home playing in a big tournament like that.
Yeah, and I feel like between Car Shield Blast being your team and then Black Ice 2.0, I don't feel like any of them disappointed this summer.
No, neither. Black Ice 2.0 won the play-in, correct? They won the lower. I don't know what it was called. It was like the play-in tournament. They won their division.
Yeah, they won the
tier 2.
Tier 2, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know how to word it either.
Yeah. But then that besides that, but they also played. They were a pest to.
Every tournament they were giving teams games, and they weren't expecting it. These kids, the future is bright out there. These kids have been playing against PJ, KJ, all these kids who are tough on them. And look at them now. They're playing in the pro tournaments. They're winning games. Some of those games too were awesome. Like, I got there 2 days early, and I was like, I'm watching these playing games. And me and a couple of guys got there. And it was awesome. It was awesome to not be playing and get to watch games that we didn't have to worry about.
Now, do you think going forward the play-ins is the way to go?
It's rough for those teams, obviously. Like, if you have to win 3 games or you play 3 games the day before Palma Pro starts, so it's rough. Like, I'd like to see them get a day off. Dudes are beat up out there. But I loved it. I thought it was cool. I would definitely keep it involved, and maybe make it even bigger.
Right.
Yeah. Started a couple days before, have some more teams.
Yeah, it's what I was gonna say, maybe even like a month early or something.
Yeah, it's hard. So like I get where they are. Maybe at the beginning of State Wars, like so
Yeah.
you're not jumping right into Palma Pro. Like you're there Monday, you play Tuesday and Wednesday, and then you get Thursday off.
Yeah, well,
There
it
you
was
go.
interesting because it was a few years ago. They did kind of like a play-in at SummerSlam.
Yes, I played. I didn't play in it because they wouldn't. There was all these rules. Like if you were on a team that's already in,
Yeah,
you couldn't play in the pros. So it was a little weird, but I did like it there in Blood and Feathers and Buffalo.
hmm
That was a crazy tournament actually.
yeah. I mean, that's the thing is, it was great, and it was it showed teams that had been playing in it had to go against newer teams, and it showed that there are other teams out there that can qualify for PAMA Pro instead of just kind of picking them out of a hat.
Yeah.
And so, from a perspective standpoint, I think it was the way to go. I think it was kind of revolutionized it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, it is kind of like even if let's just say if they are the best team, they play those first three games and then they go right into PAMA Pro, and it's like they're beat up, like you said,
Yeah.
and so they're already kind of they're missing the jump because they're so probably potentially so tired.
Yeah. So that's why you need to have like give them a day at least. I would want to but they're only playing 3 games. I get it, but and it's hard. You don't have all this rink time either. You got to think of that.
Yeah.
They're playing 3 rinks there. I think they ended up using other rinks this year at State Wars. They used Veta, which is 20 minutes, and I think they used All American.
Yep, they did. Because I think that championship game for the tier 2 was at Veta, if I remember correctly.
I think it was on rink 3 or the second rink at the sports. I thought it was, but you could be right. I didn't see it.
Yeah, I don't know. I couldn't remember because I thought it was. I don't know, but it doesn't matter. But it was still pretty sweet.
Yeah.
I just wish that it was show like that. If you're calling it tier 2 pro, my personal wish would have been that I would be able to watch that game.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't have it streaming. I thought the whole time it was going to be on the main rink.
Yeah.
And then I saw the guys there and there. I'm like, what did Black Ice 2.0 win? And I was like, oh my God, they already played.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, so unfortunately, yeah, your summer run came to an end. But I guess the positive thing you could think about is that you didn't lose the way that Black Ice lost in the finals.
Oh yeah, but just to be in the
yeah. I know.
But both games rough. One goal games, right?
Yeah.
They didn't. Did they score an empty netter? They might.
No.
Have.
Your game it was 1-0, and then the finals was 1-0 too.
Yeah, I think I walked out right before the buzzer. We were heading back to the Ameristar.
But yeah, the infamous bank off the back.
What a
Chinny.
shot!
Yeah,
Chinny played unreal against us, and in that championship game, that breakaway save he had on Travis, I was like, they could win the game now with that save. And it was like there wasn't much time left. I think there was 3-4 minutes left in the game. And Chinny's a gamer. Congrats to him, and all the USA guys too, by the way. Chinny, Reds, backstopping the boys.
Yeah, and it's, and you talk about goaltenders. I mean, that duo right there, and you're like, well, who do you start? Because they're both solid.
I know. You can't go wrong with either one. That's the best part.
Yeah, But yeah, I mean, so I guess, you've played goalie a while. I mean, when you get around younger goaltenders, right? I mean, what's your word of advice to them?
For roller, I'm big on the mental side of it is preparing. You need to be prepared. It's different than ice. I hate to say it, but you're not. It's a different game for us. It's nowhere near what you're doing on the ice. You're not sliding like how you are on the ice, so you have to play a little bit of. You got that Tim Thomas in you. You're not you're diving around for some of those desperation saves. Some guys are. Chinny's one of them. Like Reds is one of them. Lane Hartwell always making the crazy desperation saves as well. But I tell them it's all about your movements, your angles, being ready, and like I said earlier, knowing where the puck's going and being out where it is. If you can see a play develop before it happens, you're ahead of the game. You're going to be better than everybody else.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest benefit of the position of goaltender is being able to watch the game from that perspective.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
I mean, Stavi, you got any parting words of wisdom or just anything you want to get out there? I mean, floor is yours, man.
I love roller hockey, the community. Like, I've been playing again. I took a little hiatus, and like coming back, like it's brought me new life. And like I couldn't picture playing any other sport. And like the people involved, meeting all these people, traveling all these places. I'm just thankful for roller hockey and like what it's brought in my life.
Hell yeah. Well, we wish you luck going overseas, man.
Thanks,
Absolutely.
brothers.
Yeah. Well, once again, remember, if you're forechecking, don't let up because there's no offsides in roller hockey. And for our viewers, there's one episode left in the season, which will be next week. So I'm Dan Dean.
Justin Wood.
Stavi, thanks for joining us. See y'all next week.
Thanks, brothers.
Peace out, everybody.
Later.
Finds the trailer Kramer. Kramer back to White. Shot and the save made by Brandi. Pass up ahead. Terry's behind the defense. He shoots it. Big save by Steve Brandi. Guy's a 30-goal scorer in the American League, and Brandi just shut him down. Sigmund into his offensive zone. Cuts left. Looks. Shoots. Brandi the glove save, and this one pops over top of the net.
Eisenhower in. Forehand all way. Shot glove save by Brandi. Making it look easy down there. A little bit of slow pace there as he shoots, and that's going to be held off.
Bruce moves through his offensive zone, sends it in front, and Brandi makes the glove save.
Every episode of No Offsides podcast is brought to you by Champion Hockey. Be a champion. No Offsides is happy to support US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller. Check out all these awesome tournaments, including November 8th through the 10th at Skate Safe America, Old Bethpage, New York, and the Ring of Fire in Kapolei, Hawaii, February 14th through 17th, 2025. And be sure to check out usrollercup.com and follow US Roller Cup at US Roller Cup on Instagram. US Roller Cup, a revolution in roller.
No offside.